Okay, so in this third module of our postural restoration course, we'll be focusing on helping you reverse some of the most common muscle imbalances of the shoulder muscles that could be leading to poor posture. Now, while most people associate poor posture with pain or tightness of the muscles on the top of the shoulder, known as the upper trapezius, what most people don't realize is that there are way more muscles of the shoulder that are also involved, which could be what is contributing to your poor posture as well. And one of the most problematic yet overlooked muscle groups comes from excessive tightness or shortness within the muscles that sit in the front of your shoulder, namely your pectoralis muscles and also your bicep muscles. And this is going to happen as a result of people, yet again, spending way too much time in this kind of slumped or slouched position that we've been talking about for the first couple of modules. And when these muscles in the front of your shoulder get very short, when they get very tight, is that they're actually going to pull your shoulder blades up and forward, which is going to create this appearance of this kind of rounding of your shoulders, which can obviously cause a lot of problems. And this is not only going to wreck your posture, but it's also going to create a ton of excessive tightness and restrictions within the muscles that sit on the top and the back of your shoulder as well, which are also known as the trapezius, the levator scapula, and your rhomboid muscles. And this is what could be driving a lot of constant or chronic pain, or even the formation of a ton of these little painful muscle knots that you might be feeling within these areas as well. But by restoring the imbalances of these muscles, this will not only help reset the position of your shoulders, which will help improve your posture, but it will also help relieve some of that constant and chronic pain and tightness that you might be feeling within these muscles in the tops and the backs of your shoulders as well. So what we're going to do is show you some of our favorite ways to help you stretch and release some of the tightness that you might feel within those muscles in the back of your shoulder, and also kind of help reset your shoulders to be able to help get your posture in a much better position over time. All right, so the first stretch we want to show you in this third module is to teach you how to do a very simple pec stretch, again, using this device known as the foam roller. So Twee, go and demonstrate. So this stretch is known as a snow angel stretch because essentially you're going to start to perform some snow angel motions while laying on the roller long ways, all right? So what Twee's going to do is, again, make sure that she's lying on the roller to make sure her head is also supported. And go ahead and start by putting your hands up towards the ceiling like so. All right, and then this is the starting position. And then the first thing you want to do with your hands at 90 degrees is just slowly start to see if you can touch the backs of your hands all the way down towards the floor like so, all right? So again, Twee does have good flexibility in her chest muscles, so she is able to touch her hands all the way to the floor. And as you do this, you also want to make sure that your shoulders are also staying back to make sure your shoulders aren't kind of popping up and forward like so. So if you do this and your shoulders are popping up and forward, just try to kind of roll your shoulder blade back to make sure that you are not creating any potential harmful stress on the top of your shoulder, all right? And then once you kind of get into this position, you want to do a snow angel movement where you're essentially trying to, touch your hands together over your head like so. And this will help you stretch and create some, again, level of stretching across all the fibers of the pec in all different angles as well. All right, so once you touch at the top, like so, then slowly kind of bring your hands all the way back down, while again trying to keep the backs of your hands, on the floor the entire time. Go down all the way like so. 3, 2, 1, and let's start at the beginning again. All right. So let's start by having your hands clasped together. Now again, for a lot of people who might be really tight or who might be really restricted within this exercise, let's go and demonstrate. As you go down, you may only be able to go down again about 75% of the way, and it just might feel impossible for you to be able to touch your hands to the floor. And if that's happening to you, then that's completely fine. Similar to all the other stretches that we showed you, you just want to stay there and take a couple of nice shallow breaths, and then take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, just try to slowly push your hands a little bit further towards the ground like so. And you should really feel a lot of stretching, just a lot of action happening right along the muscles in your chest and through your pec, and also potentially along your elbow and your bicep as well. So take a nice deep breath in, exhale, and push a little bit further towards the ground. And even if you can't get your hands to touch the floor in the beginning, that's completely fine. We still want you to try to do that snow angel stretch just to make sure that you are able to stretch all of those muscles along the pec at different angles as well. Again, just go very slowly. There's no need to press or stretch beyond any type of pain. Just kind of take your time with this and just kind of slowly use your breathing to kind of guide yourself through the exercise and through the stretch. And over time, you'll start to get better with this as well. All right, so again, then go as far as you can up towards your head. And then once you get to the top, then kind of slowly work your hands all the way back down towards your hips. Well, again, just trying to use your breathing as your guide, just to kind of help guide you through the stretch. And 3, 2, 1. All right, so that's it for the pec stretch, the snow angel stretch using a foam roller. So let's get into the next stretch in module 3. All right, so this next stretch we want to show you is one of our favorite ways to help you stretch your bicep muscle while also helping you learn how to open up your chest muscles and also help you reposition your shoulder blades as well. So Twee, go and demonstrate. So we have Twee just kind of face aside here, and she's going to start by going to stand a little bit further like so, here. So you're going to start by just interlocking your hands behind her back like so, and then from there try to start by pulling her shoulders down away from her ears and opening up her chest like this. And then from here, try to push her hands behind her back as far as you can. Again, this is going to ensure that you'll get a pretty good stretch along this muscle, along your bicep, while also just getting a lot of stretching across your chest as well, while also learning or teaching you how to reposition your shoulders into a down and back position instead of being in a stuck forward position, right, that most people find themselves in. Right, so Twee, go and reset. All right, so let's demonstrate one more time. Again, just starting by interlocking your hands behind your back, pulling your shoulders down and back away from your ears, opening up your chest, and then once everything is locked in through here, try to push your hands behind your back as far as you can. Again, you should get a nice stretch along your elbow, your bicep, front of the chest, and front of the shoulder. And once you get to the stretch position, take a deep breath in, exhale, and try to push a little bit deeper into the stretch like so. And really try to stick out your chest and really try to engage that middle part of your back. And this will really enhance the level of stretching that you feel across your ribs, across the front of your shoulders, and into your bicep muscle as well. 3, 2, 1, and go ahead and reset. All right, now the thing that I want you to be cautious of when you do this exercise is to make sure that you really focus on keeping that shoulder blade down and back, because a lot of times for people going to demonstrate improperly, when they do this stretch, you'll start to see the shoulder start to tip forward because the shoulder blade is actually tipping forward as well. This isn't good because it's going to create a lot of pressure in this bicep in the front of your shoulder here, which isn't a good thing for your shoulder. And it's also not teaching you how to reposition or to do proper placement of your shoulder blade. All right, just make sure as you do this to make sure that you remember to lock your shoulder blade down and back, to make sure that your shoulder is kind of rolling backwards like so. And from there, try to push your hands behind your back. And this will make sure that the stretch is way safer and much more effective as well. Then hold the stretch for a couple breath cycles. Try to slowly start to see if you can expand some of this tension in through the ribs. And again, this is one of the best exercises that I do on almost a consistent basis, just to make sure that my chest is staying loose and my posture is staying upright as well. 3, 2, 1, reset. All right, so that is it for our bicep pec stretch while standing. Now let's get into the next exercise for today. All right, so this next exercise is one of Twee's actual personal favorite exercises to help her kind of reset a lot of the tightness imbalances that she may develop within her shoulders, because she's actually a massage therapist, so she's actually always using the muscles of the front of her chest and the front of her shoulders as well. And this is one of her favorite ways to just kind of reset those shoulder muscles to help her shoulders and her posture feel much better as well. All right, so this is an exercise known as the loaded carry, and we're going to be using just kind of 2 20-pound kettlebells here. Right, and again, kettlebells is one of our favorite tools to kind of help you reverse a lot of these problems as well. So she's demonstrating a nice good lift there with a nice proper form. And what I really want to key in with this exercise is just the fact that we're using the weights just to kind of help reinforce and reset the position of her shoulder blade and her shoulders, right? So you want to focus on trying to keep your chest out like so, and also trying to push your shoulders down away from your ears. This will help your upper trapezius muscle relax because this muscle is nice and soft right here. And it's also just going to help just kind of reinforce this kind of optimal position of your shoulder blades, while also kind of forcing you to engage all the correct muscles to be able to maintain proper posture as well. All right, so Twee, let's go ahead and face the other way so people can see. All right, just so we can see at a side angle here. All right, as you can see, her body is in pretty good alignment. Her shoulders are sitting nice and back. her chest is out, she's not overarching anything. And again, in this case, the role of the weights is just to kind of help reinforce the proper positioning and just to help her shoulders just kind of stay in this kind of nice and back position as well, right? Now, what's going to happen is for a lot of people who have a tendency to be stuck in this kind of forward, kind of slouch posture, is something like this might happen where if you are in this position, when your shoulders are more slouched, the weights in this case are actually going to reinforce all of the bad things about posture. And this is actually going to feel pretty bad, right? You can see that there's a lot more kind of tension on the tops of your shoulders. Her upper back is rounded forward. And the weights in this case are going to reinforce improper posture, which is definitely something we want to avoid, right? Because that's actually going to feel quite bad. But if we can just have you remember to stick your chest out, keep your back nice and upright, and keep your shoulders back, this will actually feel quite good. It'll actually be almost relieving in a way where it helps us kind of, again, stretch the muscles in the front of your shoulder. It's going to help reposition your shoulder blades into a much more comfortable position as well. And it's also going to untrain you. It's also going to train you to realize that being in a bad posture is going to feel quite bad, and it's going to help reinforce all of the good postural habits that we want to teach you, right? So Tweed, go and put the weights back down. And make sure that as you put these weights down, just keep a nice straight back to make sure that your form is good. And that's it for our loaded carry drill. Again, one of our favorite ways to help you rebalance the imbalance of your shoulder muscles and just help teach you proper positioning of your shoulders and your upper back as well.